SKOL Vikes, baby. SKOL Vikes. Yeah. Back again with another live during the week. Got some things to talk about. You already know major keys to victory coming. What the Vikings need to do to defeat Lamar Jackson, the disrespect that is being put out towards the Vikings, etc., etc. We pretty much know what it is, right? Heavy, dog. You hear me? So we got a few things to talk about. Gonna get into some pressers. KOC, Hawkinson, definitely JJ McCarthy. You know, talk about a few things, man. You hear me? But this is a very important week for the Minnesota Vikings. Important game for the Minnesota Vikings at this moment. A pivotal point in the season. You hear me? No way around it, baby. No way around it. A very pivotal point in the season, dog. No cap. A very important game for the Baltimore Ravens as well, right? Their season on the brink, season on the line. Probably will be a playoff atmosphere. So what does that mean? They're coming to the bank. They're coming to US Bank. It should be loud. It should be hostile. It should be hectic for them, right? They should get no rest, period. They should get no calm, period. I'm talking about the whole US Bank should be rocking and rolling from first snap right to last snap. No ifs, ands, buts about it, baby. You hear me? Hands down, man down, dog. I'm just being real here. We just got to be real. If we talking playoff atmosphere, if we talking the Vikings building a win streak, because they must build a win streak. I've seen some clips where people saying, oh, the Ravens may be able to lose one more game max. Well, shit, the Vikings really probably can't afford to lose more than two. How close the NFC race is, how close the NFC North will be. Now, we'll see what happens this weekend with the Packers and the Lions, etc., the Bears. Hopefully, they all lose. It gives the Vikings more room for error, right? But at the end of the day, if you the Vikings, I mean, ideally, you want to win out. You know? Yeah. Right? Ideally, realistically, you want to win out. Period, bottom line. Point blank, period, homie, for real. If you ask me, we talking about securing playoff spots. We talking about making the playoffs, potentially making a playoff run, still being able to win the North, potentially win the North, etc., etc. So it's a lot at stake, a lot on the table. Great win versus Detroit, but how do you overcome an emotional win, an emotional victory, right? Can you bounce back? I don't care if you're playing at home. I don't care if you're playing away. It was a physical game, a emotionally draining game. So how do you prepare? Do you bounce back? Do you come in mentally prepared, right? Mentally locked in to get the dub? We've seen this before with the Vikings. They win a big game or play a great game, perform well, then come back and have a mental letdown. We can have no emotional letdowns. You hear me? Right? It's no room for any emotional letdowns, baby. You hear me, dog? Point blank, period. Correct? Heavy. No way around it. No way around it, dog. Emotional letdowns do happen. So it's up to KOC to have his team prepared. It's up to KOC to have his team performing at a high level, right? Heavy. No ifs, ands, buts about it, man. This is the test. This is a big test. The Ravens are no slouch. The Ravens ain't a sorry team. Forget about a record. They got Lamar back. We know what type of problem Lamar is. Yeah. Missing tackles versus Jared Goff. How much harder do you think it will be to tackle Lamar Jackson? We've seen the struggle to really tackling issues all season, whether it be getting to the quarterback. When you get to him, you grab him, bring him down heavy. You get a hand on him, you finish the tackle. Now, I understand it's part of the game. You're going to miss some tackles. Mistakes will happen. But boom, majority of the time, what is going on? Heavy. Right? We saw last week with Jonathan Grenard. He missing tackles against Jared Goff. Can't have it, baby. Can't have it. Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, a totally different animal. Once again, don't get caught up in no damn record they are. Don't get caught up in their damn record. Totally different team when Lamar Jackson is there playing, dog. This is a big team, a physical team, a strong team, a long athletic team, huh? You hear me? On both sides of the ball, defense, offense. You know, the game plan has to be perfect. We're talking about major keys to the game, major keys to victory. You hear me, huh? So we talking major keys to victory. We know what it is. Pretty simple. I ain't gonna say simple to do, but it's not rocket science. First things first, you stop Lamar, huh? You hear me, dog? Heavy. You stop Lamar. Not only that, you got to worry about Derrick Henry. Heavy. So we talking about the trenches stepping up. Shout out to the trenches, how they performed last week versus the Lions. But this is a totally different team. And that's what I mean when I say, huh? The NFL is week by week. Heavy. You know, different team, different scheme, baby. You hear me? Heavy, dog. Different team, different play calling, different play insertions, you know, different attack modes. Period, baby. But the bottom line is you stop Lamar, huh? You stop Derrick Henry, heavy. The Vikings should win the game comfortably. But it's much easier said than done. You know? Matter of fact, let's check out some stats, man. I just want to really check out some stats and see where the Ravens stand as a team, man. But at the end of the day, dog, I'm telling you here now, you cannot sleep. The Vikings can't come in starting slow. They can't come in looking sluggish. They can't come in playing around. You hear me? Nothing of that nature, man. Nothing of that nature, dog. Heavy. That's just what it is, dog. You hear me? That's just what it is. I'm telling you this out. The Vikings come in slow, starting slow and bullshitting around, and offense ain't getting going, and the defense on the field heavy, and the defense ain't getting no rest. It must be complimentary football, homie. You hear me? That's what I want to see from the Vikings as a whole. I want to see them start the true progression. Be consistent, baby. You hear me, huh? Be consistent, period. Great win last week, but let's build on it. Let's build on it, correct? That's what it's about. Building up wins, stacking victories, heavy. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a playoff push, this and that. Let me check out. I want to see the Baltimore Ravens stats, huh, for the year, homie. You hear me? Heavy. That's what it is, dog. We have to stop the run. We must stop the run. You know, period, man. No way around that shit, dog. Like, whatever you want to say, whatever you going to say. You hear me, homie? You must stop the run, man. Point blank, huh? Yeah. Let's see what they got. Here we go. Boom. Let's check out some of these stats, offensive stats. Baltimore Ravens offensive stats per game, 339 yards per game, tied 18th. And that's really a lot of yards, right? A game seemingly, but now the NFL is so offensive driven. You hear me? They tie for 18th. So what the hell does the number one offense look like? That's crazy work for real. You hear me? But we've seen how the defense perform versus explosive offense, versus one of the top ranked offenses in the NFL. So if the defense continue to perform well in the trenches, we got that same great trench play. Shit, damn, dog. Sky's the limit. Matter of fact, there's no limit how far they can go. The way the defense performed last Sunday versus the Lions is exactly what we expected from Hargrave and Allen and the whole team. Heavy, homie. We expected, we figured, right? The strong point of the team would be the trenches, period. We knew the weak point of the defense right now is the secondary. That's just how the cookie has crumbled, dog. That's just what it is. Passing yards, they're not a great passing offense, you know? 183 yards a game. Vikings right there, 191, ranked 26. Not too far ahead of them, but the Vikings have a better passing offense than them right now, but they did miss Lamar for 2 games. Rushing yards a game, 135, ranked 6, which I knew they would be high up there, heavy. We must neutralize the run. Derrick Henry, you already know what's coming, man. You already know what's coming, right? I don't care how good the trenches looked last week. right? I guarantee, I guarantee the Baltimore Ravens will attack and they will try to get their run game going. No ifs, ands, buts about it, baby. You hear me? Hands down, man down, period. No cap, right? Heavy, man. So they're averaging 135 yards per game. That's a productive rushing offense. It starts with Lamar and it starts with Derrick Henry. So major keys to victory, huh? You neutralize them, period. You got to neutralize them. Those are their top players, their top weapons. I ain't really too much worried about their receivers. Now, you got the tight ends, you got Trey Flowers. Our secondary has been questionable, right? Our secondary has holes in it. They didn't perform horrific last week, but it wasn't the best performance. But this defense relies on pressure, relies on a D line getting pressure, period. Immense pressure. Now, if the trenches can do that consistently, I feel real good about this secondary. Now, I would like to see Asante Samuels back there. I'm going to get into that article later. If somehow the Vikings can acquire him, that would be ideal, really phenomenal. Even though he's an older vet, right? It doesn't matter. You hear me? Much better than Jeff Okuda. No disrespect to Dwight McLaughlin. Much better than him, much better than Fabian Moreau being out there, even though he didn't perform badly. Out of all the cornerbacks, besides Murphy, he might have performed the best. You hear me? But we need more depth. We need more depth. So if they can get Asante Samuels in the building, that would be perfect, baby. Heavy, man. Whoever you can get. But the fact the Vikings stood pat and didn't make any moves, no maneuvers before the trade deadline shows you they believe in this defense, shows you they believe in their roster, in their personnel for whatever reason, whether it be the secondary, the trenches, right, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to see the linebacker room, linebacker core, right? We are going to see heavy, We're going to see how it goes down. But this will be a major test. So first things first, trenches where the games are won. Like I always say, right? Trenches are where the games are won, especially playoff time. But if our defensive line, especially the interior, Hargrave, Allen, Rodriguez, etc., Redmond, boom, if they can put on that same level, high intensity performance that they did versus the Lions, I feel real good about where the Vikings will stand at the end of the game when we talking about the Ravens and how many rushing yards they got or didn't get. Period. I feel real good about it. Biggest issue. I ain't even gonna say issue, dog, even though it has been an issue. You can call it a concern. Can the Vikings be consistent? You hear me? One time this whole season. Can they stack up consistency for 2 weeks in a row? Right? That's what's been lacking. We haven't seen any form of consistency for the whole season, damn near. Now they've been dealing with injuries. They're finally getting healthy. That's very important as well. You see the difference, huh, homie? When you got Van Ginkel in the game, Blake Cashman in the game. You hear me, dog? Heavy, hands down, man down. Total difference, total change, dog. No cap, period. But my thing is I want to see consistency from this team, both sides of the ball. Now, the defense had definitely been more consistent than the offense. Brian Flores got in his bag last week, huh? I repeat, Brian Flores got in his bag last week, baby. You hear me? No way around it. Heavy. But you have to continue to get in the bag, right? You have to continue to perform at a high level, right? That's why it's the NFL. Week in, week out. Every week is different. Every week you're facing a different animal, a different component. And this week, Lamar Jackson, heavy, man. The main focus, what should be being preached, tackling, sure tackling, You ain't got to knock a guy head off every time, but you must wrap up Derrick Henry, slow him up in the backfield. Don't let him get his legs going, his power going, right? It takes for him a while to rev up. Once he gets going, bruh, you let Derrick Henry get downhill, bruh. Ooh, it's going to be trouble, huh? Rest in peace, Bernie Mac, dog. Legendary for real. So boom, hit him in the mouth early, man. Hit him in the fucking mouth early and don't let up. Brian Flores. We just start with the defensive side of the ball, right? Brian Flores, be in attack mode. What is your scheme? What is your plan? Preach to your rushers, edge rushers, interior rushers. Play your gap. Keep contained. Off the rip, boom, we must have a spy on Lamar Jackson. I'm saying all game. Unless you're blitzing, outright blitzing, it must be a spy on Lamar Jackson all game, baby. You hear me? Period. But biggest thing is play your gaps. Don't overrush, right? Don't try to play hero ball. Do your job, play your assignment, and play it well. And everything else will fall into place. Now we know Jackson is gonna run around, make some shit happen. You hear me, dog? That's what he does. It's part of the NFL. You know, you can't stop him from creating big plays with his legs. It's gonna happen. It's inevitable, right? But majority of the time, what is going on? Are you winning the battles? Are your edge rushers getting to him? And when they're getting to him, are they tackling him, bringing him down? Applying pressure, getting him out, getting him off his point, like they did Jared Goff, right? Making him uncomfortable, make him second guess his throws, You hear me? Force mistakes, yeah. Apply pressure, force mistakes, beat him up, bang him up early. Period, dog. I guarantee they're gonna lean on the run early. You know? Every team the Vikings play moving forward, I guarantee they're going to try to test the trenches. They're going to see if it was a fluke versus Detroit. They're going to see if they really bowed it, fool. You hear me, homie? Heavy, you know? Hands down, man down, dog. You know, we're around this shit, bro. For real. So rushing yards, 6th. Points per game, 25. Tied for 12th. Heavy. The Vikings, 22.8. What we got? Third down percentage, 40.2, ranked 13th. You hear me? The Vikings only 33.3. Gotta get better in third down conversions if you're Minnesota, right? But that's gonna be very key as well. Getting off the field on third down. Getting off the field on third downs if you're the defense. Heavy, period. You hear me, dog? Heavy. You know? Especially third and longs. It's no excuse, man. You should stay on the field when it's 3rd and 15, 3rd and 20. Boom. Get off the damn field. Go get some rest. Give your offense the ball. Period. Right? We've seen too many times this whole year where the Vikings struggle to get off the field on third down, 3rd and longs. Right? You ask me, it's inexcusable. No room for. Get off the field, bro. Handle that business and get off the damn field. Point blank, period, man. But they're in the top 15 in third down conversions. So they do complete some third downs. So that's going to be very key if you're this defense. Getting off the field. Heavy. No big plays, no dumb plays on third down. You hurt your defense. You hurt the momentum of the game. And yes, the crowd noise, crowd momentum will play a major role. So we got to step up, period. Got to step up, man. Heavy. Just what it comes down to. Bottom line, bro. That's going to be a major key. Secondary. Make plays. Be good in coverage. Like I said, I'm not overly concerned about their receivers, right? Their receiving room. Now, respect to them, but a big threat, the real threat is Flowers and the tight ends. Josh Metellus. We know how Josh Metellus struggles in coverage. It's no secret. Josh Metellus struggles in coverage, baby. It's what it is. Hitman, the whole secondary struggles in coverage, especially if the pressure isn't being applied. So we need more from this secondary, man. You know, Flores, in my opinion, if he's smart, he cannot have Josh Metellus guarding Andrews the whole game, or Josh Metellus being on a receiver the whole game. If I'm Flores, hell to the no. No disrespect to Metellus, man. He's a great player. He can do a lot of things, versatile. But pass coverage is probably his weakness at this point, at least during this season. Heavy. You know? But the whole secondary has been exposed. Linebackers. You might have to double Andrews. You hear me, dog? Heavy. They're going to have to bump Flowers, bump him up early, fuck him up early, bang him up, you know? Put pressure on him, bump him at the line of scrimmage, especially if you plan the blitz, right? Heavy, man. Especially if you plan to blitz that boy. Hands down, man down. No doubts about it. You hear me, dog? Bump his ass at the line of damn scrimmage, man. For real. We got to be aggressive. We got to be physical. We got to be in attack mode on the defense all game long. Flores got to get in his bag. He got to be on script, good, very good. Off script, very good. We already know adjustments, halftime adjustments, quick adjustments on the fly, maybe even starting the first quarter, you know, depending on what happens, how the ball bounces, how the Ravens come out, point blank, period. Expect the unexpected, but I'm expecting them to try and come run the ball heavy, bro. You hear me? Yeah. You know, it's what it is, man. It's what it is, dog. For real. Yeah. So that's pretty much it as far as the major keys to victory from the defensive side of the ball. You stop, contain Lamar. You hit him in the mouth. You stop, contain, neutralize Derrick Henry. That's a win for you. It will make the game a lot easier. Now they come in now, and the Vikings let them get going and just pound the rock and gash them for 5, 6, 7 yards a run. Then it's gonna be a long day. A long day. Period, bro. For real. Hell yeah. You know? Hell yeah, man. Let's talk about the Vikings offense. Major keys to victory there. As we know, getting the game going, getting the run game going. We need much more rushing yards, man. You hear me? You know? This stat right here, I need more rushing yards a game. 23rd, 99.9. Not bad, but you need more. You know? I need the Vikings to be ranked higher than 23rd in rushing yards per game. Right? Especially when you're passing yards, you're ranked 26. You know, now I understand the whole PFF and the numbers can be deceiving. You got to pay more attention to the eye test, how the Vikings play, how they want to play. I'm sure this game it will be a lot of trying to control the clock, and getting their run game going. But this game here, you got to get the run game going, baby. You got to get the Ravens on their heels. You know. We need to get the run game going so we can take advantage of their aggressive style defense, correct? Yeah. They got linebackers who fly across the ball. Their trenches are big, tough, strong, athletic, you know. Their secondary safeties, strong, athletic. Kyle Hamilton, we know who he is. Yeah. So they're going to try to be aggressive. If I'm the Vikings KOC, I'm not going to try to run too much to the outside until I tire them down, wear them out. But I'm going to start with zone runs, right, left, boom, up the middle, certain gaps. That's where I'm going to start at. But this is a team, you got to break them down, man. You got to take their soul, right? You got to get that defense tired. You got to be able to run the ball, tote that tater, man. Tote that damn tater, right? No ifs, ands, buts about it, bro. You got to get the run game going. Uh-huh. And not only for the Ravens, but shit, in general. Every week, that's what you want to do, be able to do. Be aggressive, run the ball. Now, we saw some good play calling from KOC. First time in what, forever? We saw him run on 3rd and 4, on 3rd down. So that's a step in the right direction. But keep it going, keep it going. You know, run the ball. That should be KOC's mentality. Run the ball, especially in the red zone. Right? We saw him last week. He chose to throw 3 times at the goal line. 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, even 4th and 1. Run that damn ball, KLC, period. But we seen him elevate, take a step forward as far as being the play caller for this team. Now, can he keep it going? It's all about consistency, right? Expect the blitz from the Ravens. Yeah, expect the damn blitz from the Ravens. I guarantee it. They will try to apply pressure, heavy. Yeah, no debating. They're going to bring it. They're going to test your line, test your front, test your trenches. I mean, the Lions, J.J. McCarthy was what? Sacked 5 times, too many. Piss poor. How many times was he under pressure, dog? Having to scramble, run around, too many times. Got to clean it up. Protection, clean it up. Heavy, you know. O-line, man, especially the interior, homie. You hear me? Clean it up, dog. Period. Yeah. Got to protect McCarthy at all cost. Keep him upright. You know, he can run around, scramble, make some maneuvers. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, that's what he can do. That's the benefits you have with him being a mobile quarterback, an athletic quarterback to a certain extent. So it's going to be times where plays break down, like we saw versus the Lions. The Ravens apply pressure, and he makes things happen with his legs. You know, that's just part of what he will have to do. Period. Yeah, he's gonna have to do that, man. Heavy. You know, it's what it is, man. So McCarthy, he's gonna have to be able to improvise at times. Trust me. but the Ravens will send it. They will send it, man. I guarantee it. They will try to test this line and apply immense pressure on McCarthy. Yeah, I stand on that 10 toes down. Yeah, pass protection. Pass protection has to be on point. Elevate it. You know, take the next step up, man. This will be a playoff game, playoff atmosphere. The Ravens have a lot to lose. The Vikings have a lot to lose. Heavy. Just what it is, man. Period. 5 sacks is too much. JJ McCarthy cannot be getting sacked 5 times a game. You know? That's why getting the run game going is very imperative. But shout out props to the O-line. They performed a lot better last week, especially the second half of the game. You know? But that comes down to adjustments, play calling scheme, etc., right? Heavy. Let's look at the Ravens' defensive stats. Passing yards a game. They're allowing 250 passing yards a damn game. You know? So the Vikings should be able to get off. Their secondary, very questionable, right? You know? So Jordan Addison, Jefferson, Naylor, Hawkinson, heavy, man. Even the running backs should be biting at the bit to get opportunities. Yeah. We know double teams on Jetta's going to come, double coverage, bracket coverage, all that. That's part of the game. That's what every team does now, right? But I'm seeing this stat here, this number here. And we know they're a different team with Lamar, right? But I see ranked 28th in passing yards a game. I'm excited, baby. I'm excited, man. You hear me? Even if you McCarthy, I'm turned up, baby. You hear me? A lot of opportunities for big plays to attack them downfield, stretch the field. You hear me, dog? Heavy. That's where play calling comes in. Play calling from KOC comes in. Period. Rushing yards a game, they're not great at that. They're giving up 100 plus rushing yards a game. So their defense is really, you know, we're talking about how good a defense is, or what do the Vikings, or should the Vikings worry about? You know, like I always say, don't get deceived by the numbers, dog. Check the eye test. And we know the Ravens are very athletic. We know they're physical. They're a physical defense, but they can be exposed. Period. Heavy, man. So we got to play complementary football. Yeah, you know, points per game allowed, 27 points per game, tied for 24th. So their defense is not the usual rankings stats we're used to seeing from the Baltimore Ravens defense this season. But we know they started slow, dog, and they're picking it up. They're on a 2-game win streak. So you could be looking at a totally different team. We know how Harbaugh will have his team prepared, have his team ready, correct? You hear me? For this moment. And they have a lot on the line. They're playing for playoff stakes as well as the Vikings. You hear me? So don't get caught up in all these numbers here. The eye test. Who brings more intensity? Who wants it more? Right? Who brings more passion? Who's focused, zoned in, mentally locked in, right? Spiritually locked in, ready for the moment, baby. You hear me? Ready for the mission, to complete the mission, right? Heavy. Yeah. It's more than just being physically ready, physically prepared, mentally locked in, zoned in, period. Starting with your coaching staff. Yeah. Third down percentage, third down conversion percentage. So they're ranked 41.3, ranked 20th. So they are susceptible to giving up third down conversions. And the Vikings, which I'm shocked, ranked 7th. You hear me? 35.0. Shit. when we watched the what game was that? The Chargers game. I mean, damn. You would have expected differently when we seen that game. You hear me, homie? But totally different circumstances, right? Some stats you can throw out the window. Yeah, you hear me? That's just what it is, right? Yeah, man. Different circumstances you throw out the window. Depending on the game, I'll get to the comments, man. Shout out my boy Delton in the building, man. Delton Vincent in the building. What up, big dog? Let's get it, homie. You hear me? Win, lose, or draw, man. Delton Vincent say win, lose, or draw, man. For real. Shout out 6 Shooter in the building, man. 6 Shooter Nation in the building, man. You hear me, homie? Salute. Salute to you as well, big dog. For real, bro. You hear me, baby? Guido 2117 Moss. Salute to hey, all time QB Gino getting over tonight. Bucktown 34-24. I don't know where the hell Gino came from. You hear me, Guido? But shout out, respect, Guido. Hey, Guido, you new to the chat, so make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, baby. You hear me, bro? SKOL VIKES forever. I don't know if you're a Raiders fan, but Gino looking bad. Gino looking bad. Period, homie. Gino is Gino, man. For real. Yeah. Right. Every time he scrambles, right, he's getting popped. Team total full game. Yeah, bro. Gotta be a team game. Period. Team effort, dog. It's no I in team. You gotta protect JJ. We cannot be allowing 5 sacks a game. Hell to the no, bro. And once again, I'm not caught up in the Ravens record, right? I'm not caught up in the Ravens, the Ravens' lack of success so far this season. You would be a fool to get caught up in any of that bullshit damn near. I repeat, you would be a fool. The Vikings would be fools to get caught up in, they've only won 3 games. I don't give a damn, bro. This is a Raven team with high expectations, a Super Bowl caliber having roster team, right? Who's still going to battle and still going to fight. They understand every game, their season is on the line. Every damn game, you hear me? Their season is on the line. And just like they can't afford to lose a game for real, shit, the Vikings don't need to get too comfortable either, baby. You hear me? The Vikings ain't in no good situation. I mean, they 4-4. You hear me? Now, being 2-0 in the division, that's a true success. That benefits them. So they have the luxury, maybe being able to drop a game or two. But losing shouldn't be on the Vikings' mind, right? Heavy, bro. Period. They shouldn't be thinking about losing to the Ravens and they can bounce back, regroup. Hell no, they 4-4. They ain't 6-2, right? They ain't 5-3. You hear me? Period. Now you can win the division and make the playoffs, but who the fuck want to do that? Have to count on that. You hear me, dog? Heavy. So all I'm saying is, just like the Ravens in a tough spot, the Vikings still in a tough spot, baby. You hear me? Ain't nothing changed. They just made it. They just got to 500. Okay, boom. So what? All right, cool bet. Boom, you beat the Lions. Respectable win. Great win. In Detroit, we know how them games go. Great win. But they're in no position to get comfortable and feel like they can give this game to the Ravens. Hail to the no, no, no. I repeat, huh? Hail to the no, no, motherfucking no. You hear me? You know? Heavy, man. Lil Henry Jr. rushing UTSA right now, 83.5 UU. Who is Henry Jr.? Is that Derrick Henry's son? Let me know, Weedo. Weedo, expound. Weedo, you must expound, big dog. Heavy, you hear me? For real. My boy Delt say facts. Shout out my boy Delt. Facts, bro. You hear me? You in the chat, like it up, man. You hear me? Let's go, man. Shout out six shooter in the building, dog. Y'all know what it is, though, right? This is nothing new here, man. Same agenda, win. Same agenda, win. Period, right? Win. By any means, win. You hear me, dog? Heavy. So you may look at the stats, and the stats may say, oh, the Ravens, oh, you can run on them. Oh, you can pass on them. Oh, you can complete third downs on them. Oh, boom, you hear me? Oh, I bet. No, man, fuck all that. You know, different team with Lamar, better team with Lamar, period. Playoff team with Lamar. Yeah, man. You hear me? Their defense is that. Their defense, offense is that. You hear me, dog? Heavy. You know? Period, man. I see we got an injury report. Might as well go ahead and check out this injury report. Live fresh from Twitter about 2 hours ago. Got some more things to get into. You know what I mean? I'm going to get into the J.J. McCarthy, some of the Kevin O'Connell presser. You hear me? But yeah, man. It is what it is. Yo, this is what it is. Get off fast and hard. Facts, Delt. Make them one-dimensional so they can't run. Facts, Delt. Then we put that smack down and tote that tater to use the clock against them. Boom, eating the 24-point big dub. Hey, Delt, it's right there, Delt. It's right there, Delt. You hear me, dog? Heavy. You know, Delt speaking facts here. Delton speaking all facts here, man. Like I said before, start fast. We can have no more slow starts. Build off the performance with the Detroit Lions, correct? Heavy, bro. That's what it's about, right? Build off the performance you had with the Detroit Lions. I'm talking about the Lions go down and score. Boom. The Vikings come right back. Boom, score. That's what we need. That's what we want. None of this slow developing bullshit. Complimentary football, not just for next week, the rest of the season, correct? The rest of the damn season, dog. You hear me? That's what we need. None of this, don't score points to the third quarter or second half or fourth quarter, defense on the field the whole game. No, bruh. Kill that noise. This is officially playoff season for the Vikings, period. This is officially, right, playoff football for the Vikings, dog. No matter how you want to look at this shit, right? You hear me, dog? It is what it is, bro. They put themselves in this situation. Now they got to dig themselves out, right? Oh, it will be different. You probably be worried. Some people may be saying, oh, the season over. I'm sure it was a lot of fans saying it already, dog. But you know, we know the talent on this team, the chemistry of this team, right? How long this team has been together. The roster, the personnel, the coaching staff, everything on this team, we got enough to win, make a playoff run, a playoff push. You hear me? The big question was what? McCarthy this, McCarthy that. McCarthy looking motherfucking good, if you ask me, huh? You hear me, dog? McCarthy looking real motherfucking good, if you ask me, bro. You talking about a quarterback who went in no man's land, went into Detroit, after not even playing for 5 weeks. You hear me? Showed no rust. Yeah, he had some bad throws. Okay, boom. Made some bad decisions. Okay, boom. All right, bro. Bet the whole team had some motherfucking bad plays. You hear me, dog? Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me, baby? But overall, that man went out there and performed. That dude went out there and balled, dog. No cap, bro. Respect McCarthy, bro. Once again, huh? Respect McCarthy, bro. Respect what he did. You hear me, bro? That ain't no easy task. going into Ford Field, performing that way, you know, heavy, bruh. Being down early, marching your team down the field, showing poise, showing a stoic demeanor, delivering some crazy throws. You hear me, homie? Heavy, bruh. Period. You know? I mean, come on, man. Can he get his credit? Can he get his credit? I guess not, but it's all good because guess what? Boom. He gonna earn it. Keep sleeping. Boom. He gonna take respect. Fuck demanding respect, right? Take respect. You hear me, dog? That's what this whole season is about from now on, round yonder, round this bitch, dog. Fuck it. Fuck it, bro. 2 cans in a bucket, you hear me? They ain't gonna give you respect. Hell no. They'll never give the Vikings respect. So take respect, bro. Demand respect, bro. You hear me, bro? Heavy. That's where I'm at with it, bro. No cap, bro. For real. That's all I'm saying, dog. Take respect, man. For real, homie. You know? Ravens lied about the injury report. They have nobody hurt on the report. Oh, they some bitches. 6? Hey, that motherfucker scared. You hear me? Sick shooter, my boy. They some scared bitches, dog. You hear me, huh? Yeah, man. Give me a second, man. Put this order in, dog. You hear me? Give me a second, man. Hey, sick shooter. Is you for real, my dog? Hey, the Ravens scared as fuck, man. How you gonna lie about an injury report, man? Come on, bro. What that show? That show fear to me. That show uncomfortability to me. If you ask me, sick shooter, you hear me? What about you, my dog? I mean, what you hiding? What don't you want the Vikings to know? Why lie about it? What you scared of, my boy? You know what you scared of, Harbaugh? They should really get fined if you ask me, dog. I need them motherfuckers to be fined. You hear me, dog? Heavy. It should be illegal to lie about your report. You know? You hear me? Why you gotta lie? Yeah. Why you gotta lie, bro? For real. Come on, bro. Stop the cap, man. Stop the cap, man. Stop the booth, man. They boofing, dog. You hear me? Stop the motherfucking booth, bro. For real, dog. You hear? Come on, man. Come on, man. Give me 1 second, bro. I know you love me, baby. Yeah. You hear me, man? For real, bro. The revolver leaves no evidence. Delton on one tonight, man. My boy Delton on one tonight, man. You hear me? Yeah. 1 second, man. Wild business, man. Dirty business, dog. For real, man. Yeah, they scared. They don't want us to get an upper hand. And they put nobody on the injury report. Can you believe that? That's crazy, 6. That's crazy, shooter. Come on, man. That should be illegal, dog. For real. Heavy, man. How the hell you ain't gotta you gonna lie about reporting your injuries, man? That's crazy, homie. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy, man. Like nobody across the league know that your team is hurt. Lamar just came off an injury, and you're saying nobody on your team is hurt on the injury report. That is a lie. It's always somebody banged up or nicked up, right? Let's just be real, dog. You hear me? Gotta be, dog. It's always somebody banged up, nicked up, etc., right? Heavy, bro. What nobody talking about, dog. Damn, bro. Give me 1 second, man. Damn, a lot of shit to order on this put. We're going to have to put in an extra linebacker or have Dallas Turner spy on Lamar, or 3 safeties or extra DB. Can't take our starters, linebackers out of their game. Plan to go, got to put somebody else in. You got to spy Lamar off the rip. You hear me? Off, straight up, man. Ain't no way around it, dog. You gotta put him in off the back, bro. This is what it is, man. You know, it's what it is, dog. You got to spy Lamar. You start off not spying Lamar, it's gonna be a detriment for your defense, for your team, for your squad, bro. You gotta account for Lamar at all fucking times, bro. You hear me? You gotta account for Lamar at all times, bro. No cap. So what's this menu, dog? 1 second, man. Put this order in, man. 1 second, baby. Put this order in, man. You hear me? Let's get it, man. Gotta eat, dog. Gotta eat, dog. You hear me? Heavy. Hungry as a motherfucker, yeah? Hungry as a motherfucker, yeah? No cap, yeah? No cap, yeah? I need that. I need all that, yeah? I need all that, yeah? Let me get me, yeah? Let me get me, yeah? Let me get me, yeah? We got time. We good, yeah? All right, boom. Let's get this shit, man. Gotta have a spy. Lamar Jackson, stopping Lamar is first. Well, I say stopping him and Lamar probably the same level of importance, but definitely Lamar Jackson. Like I say, he's gonna scramble around. He's gonna make some big plays. It is what it is. We know that's him. That's part of the game, part of the process. You can't completely stop him, but you gotta neutralize him. You gotta neutralize him, bro. You can't let him get off and Derrick Henry get off. Their run game will be tested. I don't think people understand. I don't think people understand how much of a test challenge this will be or could potentially be, depending on how the defense shows up, which defense shows up. You hear me, dog? You in the chat, like it up, bro. You in the chat, like it up, bro. You hear me, dog? Straight up. But I don't think people understand with this run game, with Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson healthy, their O-line, how big of a challenge this will be for the Vikings, baby. This is no fucking cakewalk in the park. You hear? So any Vikings fans thinking this is going to be an easy work, or it could potentially be a I ain't gonna say easy victory, but a convincing win, a comfortable win. But at the end of the day, I mean, do you expect just a blowout? This is a Ravens team. I don't give a fuck about 3 wins, dog. Heavy, huh? You hear? They got Lamar back, period. That changes the game, changes everything. Your defense got to elevate, period. You hear? Heavy, you hear? Give a fuck about a 3. They won 3 games. So what? I'm sure that's the same way the Lions fans felt about the Vikings coming into Ford Field, sleeping on them. Oh, they only got 3 wins. Boom, boom. They trashed, dog. All the shit all the motherfuckers was talking. You hear me, dog? Didn't give them a chance. What make it so bad? The analysts know what type of team the Ravens are, because guess what? The Vikings get major disrespect. Everybody picking them to lose. I'm going to get into it in a minute. Everybody picking the Vikings to lose, though. You hear me, dog? No cap. Are you kidding me here? So all the analysts picking the Ravens, y'all think it's going to be just light work? Easy work off the back, off the rip? Shout out for extra, dog. But y'all think off the rip, it's going to be an easy game? You better get that 3-win Raven team out your fucking mind. You hear me? And if the Vikings got them on their mind, they better let it go too, quickly and swiftly. Period, bro. Heavy, bro. When the Ravens team is healthy, just like the Vikings, when they healthy, they a playoff team. Playoff caliber team. You hear me? Some may say Super Bowl caliber team. You hear me, dog? Heavy, bro. Hands down, man down. That's it. That's it, bro. No cap, homie. For real. Let's be real here, dog. So you got to stop Lamar. Got to shut down Lamar. You spy Lamar for 4 quarters. I don't care if you put Cam Ward in the game, whoever, dog. You want his head top, make his head drop for 4 quarters, bro. Make him earn everything, every fucking thing. You hear me? Every yard, every catch, every whatever. Period. Vikings football, dog. 4 quarters. I want to see consistency building. I want this to be the biggest takeaway from this game, bro. Huh? You hear me, dog? Consistency from the Vikings. Period. From then on. Heavy. Defense and offensive side of the ball, bro. For real, dog. Are you kidding me? Going in and sleeping on this team if you want to. Talking about 3 wins if you want to. You hear me? It's a reason the Vikings, the underdogs, right? At home, right? Even if it is a certain level of disrespect, which the Vikings should put it on the fucking board and take that disrespect and break a motherfucker. You hear me, dog? Heavy. Huh? You know? For real, dog. They're going to have to play Jay Ward, who replaced Mono. Yeah, man, Jay Ward brings you a level of speed. So you got to put maybe some different nuances in the game to throw the Ravens off, right? Do something different, baby. You hear me? Heavy, dog. They're thinking about playing Nudie, but the way the reporters was talking, I don't think he's going to get that much time. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I'm making pesto with bow tie chicken. Fuck it. Hey, Delton whipping it up, ain't he? That boy Delton whipping in the kitchen. That boy Delton whipping different in the kitchen, huh? Shout out Delton Vincent, bro. You hear me, dog? Said he whipping in that motherfucking kitchen, boy. You hear me? Vocal Viking in the building, man. Vocal Viking in the building. My dog, man. We got to link up, back up, my G. Hey, definitely Vocal Vike, bro. Definitely, bro. We got to do it, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's only right, baby. It's only right, man. Heavier, bro. We got to do that shit, man. You hear me? It's been too long, bro. You know what I mean? Straight up. Shout out Vocal Vike in the building, man. For real, dog. SKOL VIKES, win, lose, or draw, man. hey, Vocal Vike, hit me up on the email, dog, or I'll shoot you one, man. We gotta figure it out and get in the lab, though, bro. For real, man. Straight up. Shout out Vocal Vike in the building, man. 1,000, man. SKOL VIKES, you hear me? Win, lose, or draw, man. we definitely gonna leak up, man, soon, dog. We gonna figure it out, man. No cap. Let's get it, bro. Like a dog in the street. SKOL. Hey, shout out Mitty 7869. Shout out Mitty 7869 for the $5 in the chat. You hear me? Shout out, man. Shout out Mitty 7869 for the $5 in the chat. Much appreciated. Like a dog in the street. SKOL. SKOL, man. Shout out McCarthy. You hear me? Rap in the building. Mitty say rap in the building. Let's get it, man. We gonna link up soon, bro. Straight up, man. Got to turn this up, man. You hear me? Heavy, bro. Big dogs in the crib. Delton and let's get it, man. But yeah, bro, you gotta spot Lamar. You cannot let Lamar beat you, hands down. Make somebody else beat you. I don't care if it's Trey Flowers. I don't care if it's Andrews, whoever. You cannot let Lamar and Derrick Henry sit back there and beat you. The game plan should be take them out the game, period, bro. For real. Take him out the game for real, man. No cap, bro. Straight up. If Lamar Jackson or Derrick Henry beat you, it's a motherfucking problem. But I ain't expecting that from Flores. I'm expecting Flores to be in his bag once again, for real, dog. You hear me? Like, I'm really expecting Flores. I'm expecting this to be a domino effect. If the Vikings are who we think they are, what we expect from them, the expectations we had coming into the season, right? I'm expecting a domino effect of consistency, bro. Of Vikings football, elite level football that we know they're capable of. Bottom line, right? If KOC is who we think he is, who he showed who he was, the potential he has to be as a play caller. Now, he got work to do. He ain't perfect yet. He ain't 100%. He still ain't gave 4 quarters yet. But if we think he's going in the direction we think he is, shit, bro. This shit got to keep going up. I need a win streak. I need a motherfucking win streak. Straight up. Heavy. Period, bro. You win. Give me 6 straight, Vikings. Fuck it. Give me 7 straight. How many more games left? How many more games left in the schedule, bro? Give me 7 straight. Only give me 2 more losses max. I really don't want no more losses. You hear me? Period, dog. But you're going to lose. Give me 2 more max. That's it, bro. Period. Matter of fact, fuck it. 1 more max. Heavy. You hear me? We talking about playoffs and this and that. Bro, hey, the time is now, homie. You hear me, dog? Step up, bro. No cap. All this other bullshit don't mean nothing, man. Heavy, bro. Motherfuckers can play with any team in the league. We know this. When healthy, even when they ain't healthy, they can play. They can bang with any team. When coaching is on point, they can bang and hang with any team. You hear me? But you see the difference in Gink being on the field, Darrisaw being on the field, Blake the Snake Cashman being on the field. You hear me? McCarthy being on the field. You hear me, dog? You see the fucking difference, bro. Now go play Vikings football. Heavy. Be consistent, bro. Heavy. Fuck this here. You're like that's what you need, man. Be consistent. Some more major keys. No mental errors. Special teams. 37. You hear me? No dumb blocks. Unnecessary penalties. False starts at home. Why the fuck is you not knowing the snap count and you at home, bro? Period. You hear me? Why we getting so many false starts when we playing at home? You should be comfortable at home in that aspect. You at home. You at the bank. What the hell is all these penalties for, bro? You hear me? I need a clean game. A clean game, baby. You hear me? A clean but dirty physical game. Violent game. Period, bro. No cap, dog. You hear me? Straight up. Heavy. That's what it's time for, man. Every game at the bank, them boys should be comfortable. They should feel posted up, bro. Ain't nobody a threat at the fucking bank. In my eyes, period. How you gonna beat yourself at the bank with penalties, bro? Period. Ain't no way around that shit, dog. Clean this shit up. Play Vikings football first quarter to the fourth quarter. Heavy, bro. That's all it is. That's all I'm saying, man. They can be any team in the league, in the NFL, if they play Vikings football, if everybody on the same accord, mentally locked in. You hear me? But it starts with the coaching staff, period. It starts with not having Josh Metellus guarding Andrews the whole game or creating a mismatch with receivers. Like we saw last week, Eric Wilson guarding Laporta at times. That's a mismatch. No disrespect to Eric Wilson. That's a mismatch, though. He's not going to win that battle. Heavy. He can't run with Laporta. He can't guard Laporta. Heavy. It's a game of matchups, man, for the most part. So you gotta be on point with your green dot, the play call on defense, which is Blake Cashman. You got to be on point with your audibles and your fucking adjustments. Period. 4 quarters locked in. Locked the hell in. No excuses. You got one job as a coach, as an NFL player. Be prepared every Sunday, every Monday, Thursday, whatever. Come up with the best game plan and leave it on the field. We can accept that, right? As true Vikings fans, we can live with that, bro. Of course you want to win. But if you go out there and leave it on the field and the game plan makes sense, what more could you ask for, dog? Straight up. But all this inconsistent bullshit, not scoring points, offense going stagnant, right? Defense bullshit, the shit we saw versus the Chargers. Keep that same energy that they brought to Detroit, man. For real. Bring even more energy. Heavy. Check out this injury report, man. Cheating ass Ravens, dog. Sketchy ass Ravens, dog. How the hell you don't report no injuries on your report, dog? You hear me? Come on, bro. Motherfuckers cat, bro. You hear me? Give me 1 second, man. That's crazy, dog. This fucking injury report, man. Who we got here, man? Name Christian Darrisaw knee. He was a full participant Wednesday. No, today Thursday. He did not practice Thursday. Damn, that's maybe that's just them being precautious with Darrisaw. You hear me? Maybe that's just, hopefully that's just them being precautious. We know Darrisaw is much needed. Will Fry's calf limited on Wednesday, full Thursday. That's a plus. He probably will play. CJ Ham was out the last game, correct? Wasn't CJ Ham out the last game? I'm ready to see CJ Ham back in the game just for blocking, aggression purposes. You hear me? CJ Ham limited on Thursday. So he still could play. So, you know, that don't mean he will be out. Theo Jackson concussion. Damn, bro. Heavy, bro. Fuck. Concussions, bro. Something serious, dog. You hear me? Did not practice Wednesday, limited on Thursday, so he could play Sunday, hopefully. Aaron Jones Sr. shoulder toe. Aaron Jones stay hurt, dog. Like, when you see Aaron Jones hurt, it's not even a shocker no more at this point in his career. Like, you want him to be healthy, but at this point in his career, right? I mean, you're not surprised if the dude is out 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time. Hopefully playoff time come, the Vikings make the playoffs, and he can stay healthy then. Like we saw similar when he was with the Packers, right? Playoff time come, he usually was healthy. Did not practice Wednesday, was limited on Thursday, so that's a good sign. Joshua Metellus foot, limited, full on Thursday, that's a good sign. Jeff Okudah, I ain't gonna cap. I'm ready to see Jeff Okudah be replaced. Like, for real, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm ready to see Jeff Okudah be replaced. He don't do enough for me. Like, as far as his second chance, shout out Uzi in the building, baby. Shout out DG Uzi in the building, baby. Let's get it, man. SKOL Vikes, bro. You hear me? Heavy, bro, for real. But as far as Okudah, I'm ready to see him get replaced, dog. Period. You know? Now, as far as his physicality, you know, him being, he'll come up and stick, he'll come up and hit. I respect that part of his game, but his coverage skills, man, not up to Paul. Being real. Haven't been up to Paul. Hopefully they land Asante Samuels somehow, some way. But Okudah, now you want him to be strictly a tackling cornerback? I give him that. He can tackle his ass off. He ain't got no fear. He come up, punch you, stick you in the mouth. Probably the best tackling cornerback in the Vikings secondary right now as we speak. But other than that, I don't care. I need him to be replaced. Heavy. Period, dog. Now, we saw Fabian Moreau in the game. He did all right. He didn't have a bad game. But do you want to lean on Fabian Moreau? Do you want to lean on Moreau, though? So hopefully they can get Asante Samuel. You know? He could be rusty as well. He's a little up there in age. What does he bring to the table? Is he the same Asante Samuel, 2-3 years ago? But I'm sure he's better than Okudah right now. Oh, yeah, bitch, yeah. I bet he give you bring more to the table than Okudah right now, as far as coverage skills, because Okudah can't cover nothing. You know? I'll burn Okudah off the line, 10-yard out, shriek, post corner, whatever. I'll burn Okudah ass, dog, for real. Straight up. I'm being real. Okudah can't cover no motherfucking body. Heavy. Period, dog. Heavy. We talking facts here, bro. Like, it is what it is. Period, homie. The weakest point of this defense is the secondary. Cornerback specifically. Secondary. Real shit. Real talk, bro. Here's what it is, homie. Got to get better. Now, you see what happens when we apply pressure. But can you apply that much pressure week in, week out? Hopefully. Hopefully, right? If you got the right scheme, if players are zoned in, locked in, executing, and performing well. But that's tough. If the Vikings come out versus the Ravens and have that same sack efficiency and get to Lamar Jackson like they did the Lions, I ain't going to cap. I would be surprised because that shit hard as a bitch. You hear me? That's hard as hell to keep up that level of production at the NFL against a scrambling quarterback, a mobile athletic freak. But if they come out there and have the same set efficiency of applying pressure and getting to Lamar like they did golf, hey, bro, I feel very good about this team moving forward, playoffs and all. Period, homie. This probably the toughest quarterback as far as being able to run and throw, right? That they'll face the whole season, especially in the NFC. Who you got? Jordan Love? Let's break down the division. Caleb Williams, already seen him. Next time he gonna get smacked up. You hear me, dog? Got a game plan for him. Brian Flores gonna be in his bag for him, dog. You hear me? But Caleb Williams, we seen him. Who else? Jordan Love, he ain't no Jackson. He ain't no running threat like that. Now, he can maneuver, but he ain't no running threat like that. Golf, we know who he is. Sitting duck. You hear me, dog? Sitting duck. Who else we got in the division? Packers, Lions, boom, that's it. So we seen them. What other opponents we got? Seahawks. Darnold ain't no threat for real. He can move, but he ain't no threat for real. Who else we got, bro? Out of all the teams we play the rest of the way, he's the biggest threat. Jackson. You stop him, that says a lot about your defense, period. That says a lot about Flores, period. You know? And the Ravens are big up front, are very big up front. That's why they run game is so efficient. The motherfuckers move bodies, period, dog. So anybody thinking this going to be an easy test, easy work, you fucking got it confused, and you better wake up and smell the coffee, huh? Quickly and swiftly, dog. You hear me? Heavy. Straight up. Aaron Jones is small for a running back. Definitely small for a running back. Probably why he stayed hurt so much in his career. Definitely mid 7, 8, 6, 9. No cap. All facts. For real. Let's whoop B more on Sunday. I'm right there with you, Uzi. Beat their ass. You know, beat their ass. Okuda couldn't cover a 5-year-old. You hear me? Come on now, you hear me? We know who Okuda is. Now, you know the Vikings tried to get a man a second chance. Get a man, Brian Flores believed in him. We've seen Brian Flores take average players on the last leg of their career, turn them into good players. They benefit from Flores, you know? But in this case, like I say, I love physical cornerbacks. You need them. But you also got to be able to cover as well, dog. Period. Right? You got to give me something in the coverage game. If all you can do is tackle, fuck out of here. Period. Heavy. Fuck out of here, bro. Like that. You know? No disrespect to you, but it's what it is. It's the NFL, man. This ain't high school. This ain't college, bro. If you can't make the cut, you can't make the cut. And I ain't gonna feel sorry for Okuda. He got millions to do nothing. You hear me? How long he been in the league? He made millions sitting on the pine, being injured, whatever. Finna sit and feel sorry for him. I would have loved to see him reinvent his career, have a rebirth, but he ain't it. The fuck? He ain't it, bro. For real. Nigga ain't it, dog. I'm gonna be real with you, no cap, bro. He ain't it, dog. For real heavy. Fuck out of here, bro. I ain't got time. We talking about playoffs and playoff run and playoff push. I ain't got time to be extra friendly to somebody who can't cover a tight end. And you a cornerback. You hear? Get off the field, chump. Period, dog. You a cornerback, can't cover a tight end? What a receiver gonna do to you? Bump? That's what it is, dog. Put the best man on the field, bro. Period. Ain't got no room for giving people second chances, and they ain't making the cut. Now you want to bring him in on third down, send him on a blitz, cornerback blitz. All right, cool, boom. We can take that. We got time for people to be getting burnt over the top. And Isaiah Rodgers, he damn near in the same boat. You give him some leeway because he make plays here or there. He be around the ball, right? He got speed. He bring a certain element of speed that you need. You can't coach speed, so he gets a pass right there. But his coverage skills been whacked too. If we being honest, especially against bigger receivers, you hear me. Now that Jamin Williamson, you can say that should have been an offensive flag because that motherfucker pushed off, you know, heavy, bro. And the roll tide full of pride, right? But Williamson definitely gave him a little push off, bro. You hear me? That was pretty good coverage when you watch it again. It wasn't bad coverage by Rodgers. It definitely was a push off right there, dog. The refs really should have called that play, but do you expect that in an offensive league? I mean, come on, bro. But he definitely pushed off, you know? But Rodgers right there. So it's a lot of certain subtle adjustments that the Vikings got to make on the fly. And they proved they can do it. So I don't want to hear shit about lack of talent or lack of personnel. Brian Flores proved how good, how great he can be. You know, period, bruh. And their personnel is good enough to beat the best teams in the NFL, which they showed us last week. So it's no more excuses with this team. They come out playing inconsistent. Guess what? It's on them. You hear me? They come out bullshitting. It's on them. They've shown us how good, how great they can be. So it's on them. Will they be prepared? Will they be locked in, zoned in? Period. This is a week-in, week-to-week league. Period, bruh. Heavy. Roquan Smith got age catching up with him. True, Delton, but Roquan Smith is still a good linebacker, bruh. You hear me? Heavy. Definitely true. He's getting up there in age, but dog, you know, like I know, some players can still produce. That's like Hitman. Hitman getting up there in age. What he got? 16 years in the league? Damn near. Hitman in coverage, he ain't gonna give you shit for real. Now he can bat a ball. He's smart, so he can get to the spot. But you put Hitman one-on-one, especially with a fast receiver or tight end. You know? Period. Heavy, homie. You hear me? Bottom line. You don't want Hitman in one-on-one coverage majority of the game, dog. Now you put Hitman on the line of scrimmage. You send him on blitzes. You know, you put him close to the ball. He can still perform at a high level. You hear me? We saw that last week. On the line, knocking, batting balls down. He can still contribute. So the Ravens going to use Roquan the same way. He still got speed. He's still physical. He's aggressive. So expect the Ravens to blitz. You hear me? I guarantee it. Ain't no way around it. They will attack. They will be in attack mode, baby. No cat round yonder. You hear me, dog? Heavy. Straight up. For real. It is what it is, man. One second, man. I want to swarm Lamar, put him on injured reserve or concuss him first quarter. Henry can't get through that concussion, that continual swarm. Whoa, calm it down now, Weedo. Calm it down, Weedo. Now let's not wish injuries on nobody now, dog. You hear me? Let's keep it real 1,000 now. Let's not wish injuries on nobody, bro. You hear me? I can't rock with you on that, Weedo. That ain't how I rock and roll. That ain't how I get down, bro. Period, homie. You hear me? You understand me? I ain't never gonna sit here and wish no injuries on nobody, dog. Period. Injuries suck. I know they part of the game, but I ain't gonna ever sit here and say, "Oh, I want a player to be injured," because I'm worried about what he will do to the Vikings or this or that. Boom. No, fuck that. I want the best players to be on the field. I don't want to hear no excuses. Our best versus they best. Boom. Let's get it. Let's bang, bitch, and see who wins. I understand where you're coming from, Weedo, but at the end of the day, nah, bro. That's cap to me, bro. I ain't wishing injuries on now, motherfucker, now some bitch. Period, bro. Heavy. Come up with a scheme, a game plan to neutralize Lamar. Period. I want it to be our best versus they best every game, every week. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. You hear me? Ravens going to try to blitz the shit out of us. Got to hit those holes. You know what's coming, Delton. You know what's coming, Delton. You know it, dog. You know it, bro. You know what I mean, bro? We know it, dog. Here's what it is, baby. They're going to blitz. They're going to blitz crazy. They blitz very similar to the Vikings defense, how much they blitz. They're aggressive defense, right? I mean, check the stats, period. They don't blitz as much as Flores does in the Vikings defense, but them boys bring it too. And they got a safety who's a motherfucking baller. Y'all forgot about Kyle Hamilton? Long, strong, cover, tackler, all of the above. Kyle Hamilton, that Quasi passed up on. I ain't going to dwell on it, correct? But they got players, bro, for real. So let's stop the cap acting like the Ravens defense ain't really or can't really be like that, or with the snap of a finger 1 week can't get it together. You hear me? I'm not caught up in the 3 wins. I don't give a shit about it, bro. You hear me, dog? That 3-win bullshit do not distract me. I don't feel no kind of way. Oh, it's going to be an easy victory win for the Vikings. Now, if it is, that's a plus. That shows you even more how great this Viking team is and can be. But I ain't coming talking, oh, the Ravens got three victories. That's it. So what? Finna sit up here and talk about, oh, the Ravens ain't the same Ravens no more. Fuck that. The Ravens can ball. You hear me? When you got Lamar and Derrick Henry, you always got a chance. You hear me? What going on around here? You know? For real. Black and blue, we knock them out, though. Yeah, beat them black and blue. I'm with that, Weedo. I'm definitely with that, Weedo. You hear me, dog? I'm with all that shit. Beat their ass up. Bang their ass up. Bruise them up. Period. But as far as people getting hurt and concussions, nah, bro, I ain't rocking and rolling with all that, dog. For real. Heavy, bro. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Weedo, like I don't want nobody to get injured, dog. You hear me, dog? But beat their ass, bang them up, be physical. Hell yeah. Punch them in the mouth, break them, take their will, take their soul. Hell yeah. I'm with all that, bro. Heavy. Be violent, be aggressive. You hear me? Be dirty, but in a legal way. Hell yeah. Bitch, yeah. Break their ass up. Beat them up. Heavy, bro. Make them remember the day they came in U.S. Bank and got their ass beat by the Vikings, bro. You hear me? Straight up. I'm with all that, Weedo. Straight up. But all that injury shit, hell nah, bro. I can't fuck with that. Nah, bro. I don't want to see none of the Vikings players be hurt. You hear me? Heavy, bro. For real. I know how injuries affect the team. I know how injuries suck. I know how injuries can ruin a whole player career. You hear me? Period, dog. We seen it as Vikings fans, right? Destroy a whole motherfucking career. Bridgewater, Lewis Seen, even though we don't know how Lewis Seen probably was going to be trash anyway, but Lewis Seen, you know, dog? A lot of injuries, bro. Heavy. Kirk Cousins, huh? The year Kirk Cousins and the Vikings was balling on that win streak. You hear me? When he tore his Achilles. The whole NFL got lucky then. 1 year, you can actually say the Vikings probably would have made at least a playoff run potentially. They definitely would have got out the first round. You hear me, dog? Maybe the second round. The way Kirk was playing, the way KOC had him playing, and the way the team was performing, right? Even without Jettas, dog. You hear me? So I know how fucked up injuries can be. Hell no, nah, bro. I don't rock with that, dog. You feel me, bro? For real. Heavy, homie. You know? We done seen the Vikings be affected negatively by injuries too many damn times. Season after certain seasons, homie. Fuck that, bro. I'm cool on that, man. I hope every player stay healthy. I don't care who they play for. I don't care if it's the Lions, Division, Conference, AFC, NFC, whoever, dog. I ain't wishing injuries on now, motherfucker. Now some bitch. Period, bro. Get back into this this injury report, bro. So we did Jeff Okudah. Josh Oliver, foot, did not practice. I don't know what's up with Oliver. Hopefully he returns, huh? We need his presence, his big body, his blocking ability. He definitely can be utilized. Jalen Redmond, shout out Red, man, 6'1". Shin, limited on Thursday. He should play on Sunday. Harrison Smith, not injury related, rest. Understandable. Harrison Smith, get your rest, homie. Harrison Smith is an OG. I repeat, Harrison Smith is an OG in the game, right? You know, dog, you hear me? Heavy, man. Harrison Smith is a Minnesota Vikings OG, bro. Hall of Famer. Let him rest up. And that's pretty much it for the injury report right there, man. You hear me? Yeah, dog. But hopefully majority of the players play. It's good to see Gink not on the injury report, heavy. About time. It's good to see Gink staying healthy, as we know with Van Ginkel. A lot of the times it's been he played 1 week, the next week he's out, or he out for the next 2 weeks. Then he played 3 weeks, then boom, out. Hopefully he can stay healthy the whole season. Right now it's about being healthy at the right time, right? Period. You healthy at the right time, you always got a chance, especially if you're a good team. You hear me? Period, bro. So all this adversity, all these injuries the Vikings had early, now you're getting players back. Players can stay healthy. Boom, bro. Stay healthy all the way up to December, January, playoff time. You can make a real run, a real push. And as we see, other teams have players going down in the division, right? In the division. Packers just lost Kraft, right? They tight end. Big loss for them. You hear me? No way around it. He's a motherfucking player. It sucks. Prayers up to him. But you see how it can affect people, bro. Period. So if the Vikings can get healthy and stay healthy the rest of the way, oh man, sky's the limit. Matter of fact, there's no limit for them boys, bro. You heard? That's what it's about, dog. You know? That's one element you can't really control about the NFL, about football, period. At any level, high school, college, elementary, Pop Warner, whatever. They happen. Injuries happen. You just hope it doesn't happen to your team, especially late in the season. Period, bro. You just hope that you stay healthy majority of the season. You hear me? Straight up. That's all we can do, man. You know? Let's see if the refs catch this caught dice I just got for the bomb. Weedo Wilder, man. Weedo in the building, Wilder, man. You hear me, dog? That boy Weedo on one tonight, man. Shout out Weedo in the chat, though, man. SKOL VIKES, bro. You hear me, dog? What we got here, man? We got I'm gonna check out this Asante Samuel shit. Anybody know what's up with Asante Samuel, man? We finna get that boy or not, bro? You hear me? I need to know. I must know, bro. You hear me, dog? I need to know, bro. I must know, bro. You hear me, dog? Straight up, man. What's up with Asante Samuel, dog? For real. I need to know, bro. You know? I need to know, bro. Spell his name right. Might have fucked it up, but fuck it. You hear me? You know what it is, dog. Let's see what this here. Get to a real fucking report. Let's see. Vikings news. Asante Samuel visit is not what you think. Let's see what this motherfucker talking about. Vikings news. Asante Samuel Jr. visit is not what you think. Okay, what the fuck is it then? They talking about it's not what you think. What is the visit about then? You hear me, bro? It's not what you think. What the hell is it about, damn, bro? You know what I mean? Like, is this trickery or what, dog? You hear me? You hear me? Like, did this screen freeze, bro? Come on, bro. Bro, come on, man. I'm back on, man. Shit, screen freezing, man. Give me a second, dog. Y'all can hear me clear. Let me know you can hear me clear, man. All right, we on. We can Sam Asante Jr. too. What happened? Fucking screen, dog. I gotta refresh this. Give me 1 second, man. Give me 1 second, dog. Make sure we straight here, man. Shit, bro. All right, bro. Shit, tweaking out. Give me 1 second, man. What's on my screen, man? Where my full screen at, man? Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me get back in this motherfucker, bro. Hello? All right, I'll be okay. All right. All right, bitch. See this, man. Y'all give me 1 second, man. I'll be right back. Gotta do some shit, bro. Hold on. Bring this article back up, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just do I'm gonna go to a video so while I'm doing my shit, y'all can just watch that shit. Hold up, man. Let's get to it right quick. Some Bama shit. Hold on, man. Give y'all something to watch while I go handle some shit right quick. Get into some pressure shit right quick, man. Give me 1 second, man. Yeah. Get into some little Kevin O'Connell, JJ McCarthy talk right quick. I'll be right back, man. Got Jetta's on the panel too, boy. Got Jetta's here, boy. Yeah. Fuck yeah, let's go, man. Okay, we got some shit. We got some shit, bruh. Got some shit, bruh. Do this one first, man. Let y'all see.
Memories don't just sparkle. They get more meaningful.
All right, good afternoon. I want to start out, just congratulate Levi Drake Rodriguez, NFC Special Teams Player of the Week. Block field goal was huge in the game last Sunday, and he's been coming on. You know, he's had really put together a nice season after a really good training camp. First career sack also last weekend. So excited for Levi. We talked about this week on Monday, but very important week for our team coming back home. We're talking a lot about, now that we know some of the things that it takes for this year's team to win football games, how we play all three phases. Now it's about consistency and, showing up at US Bank Stadium against a really good team on Sunday and performing the way we need to win. So open it up to you guys.
Kevin, how much of what you're using in the offense is hinging on what you see from JJ, as opposed to putting everything on there and knowing this is everything we can use, or do you put more in based on what you saw last week on the field?
I just think it's about doing things that he's comfortable doing right now. Pre-snap, post-snap, what we're asking him to do in the pass game. Where are the areas that we're continually working fundamentally, and where are the areas where throughout the game, the ebbs and flows of games, where we see some of the inconsistencies that come with a young player who just made his third start. So I think we're going to try to do the things we think it gives our offense a chance, but all that goes through a scope of what JJ does well, what we think his role in the game plan can be to help us, and the things he does well fit with getting some of our best players on our offense going, as well as making sure we're very cognizant of the line of scrimmage and running the football as well.
Kevin, you talked a little bit after the game about that some of the out of the pocket throws being a little amped. I just wondered what, from an accuracy standpoint, some of those throws, what is required to be accurate?
Yeah, I think so much of it comes from the understanding of just the amount of RPMs you have to put on the throw, and he's got the ability, high level, to throw the ball very hard. But you guys have heard me talk about a lot of things in regards to things I look for in quarterbacks, and arm strength is normally not on the podium as far as the top things you're talking about. It is very important, especially with some of the coverages we get with Justin, or attacking some of the one-on-ones in tight coverage. But the most important thing is, as he learned on a few throws the other day, both completions he had that were critical, the long throw to Addison, really either one of the longer completions to Addison, But then also, it's not just the ones you complete. It's, are we giving guys a chance for run after catch as well when we've married the run in the pass and set up a play pass with a chance for an explosive? It doesn't just have to be a, catch and get back up and get 21 yards. It can be a 30, 40-yard catch and run. Especially we've seen what Justin can do with the ball in his hands. Addison, we gave him a jet sweep and he made 3 defenders miss and got a first down on a 2nd and 16 or 15 or whatever it was. So how many times can we just, and a lot of those plays are relatively low on the scale of difficulty, and then it becomes, the consistency of not only being accurate on this throw and this throw, but then, it's every single throw, every single play where when we get that consistency from him, which I think he's definitely capable of, especially when you're focusing on the lower body mechanics and understanding the tempo that you can use throughout the game with your throw, different variations. And that's what the most important thing is for accuracy. And then once you start getting comfortable using that, then you got to get comfortable, something catches your eye, you got to throw it to a place where a guy's going. And if you're not going to throw it hard, you got to then, adjust for that in the type of throw you use. So I think it's all part of his development. It's all normal. And the best things about JJ are, in the biggest moment of the game the other day, he had a very, very, really good rep with Speedy to put the game away and ice it. And there wasn't a lot of fundamental encouragement before I called that play. It was, let him go be at his best when it's required to make the play.
What did you say to him prior to that? You had the 15 or so seconds here.
Yeah, it was more so just, coming off the previous sequence where I had kind of mentioned some things to him, but maybe didn't do a good enough job emphasizing as far as the clock, maybe, eating a little bit more clock, especially. And it was a little bit more about, like, hey, I'm going to take a shot here, but there is no scenario where an incompletion or a throwaway is better than a sack to keep the clock running, or at least, make Dan have to use whatever timeout he had left in that moment. So, he understands when that play call comes in, we're trying to end the football game, and he's going to give Speedy a chance to make a play versus the one-on-one he got. But part of that is the trust in him to make that throw and in that moment, meet that moment to be able to give Speedy a chance to make a play. But if, let's say, they play zone or we don't like the look on the play, he's got to be able to tuck that thing, protect the football, and make sure the clock is our ally in that moment.
Kevin, the screen pass to Aaron Jones on the first drive of the game,
Yeah.
is that JJ just checking into that? Like, is that a can at the line? Or,
Yeah, it was a can, but he still had to recognize the look and, thought, kind of went into the game plan knowing, the history we've had with with the Lions and kind of maybe where they would go with the first, third down real opportunity of the game. And he did a great job recognizing the look and then really accurate throw. Brian O'Neill was fantastic on the play. Kind of had to make an adjustment based upon, we didn't have all 11 guys get the can in the noise, which is something we've got to improve on, But yeah, it was part of a kind of a play. But the quarterback still has to, get to the right play based upon the look, get it communicated to everybody. Really be the beacon of kind of making that whole thing go, and it's exactly what he was on that look.
How can a guy do all that? The quarterback, I mean, it seems so much that he has to be aware of and smart, and reflexive, and all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. And
A guy can do all that stuff at that moment.
yeah, I mean, I think the way I would equate it to, it would be like, if you're a high-level chef making a meal, we try to put the ingredients out on the counter and then leave the instructions right next to the ingredients and then potentially, have up until 15 seconds to help guide the crafting of that meal. That's how we try to do it, so it's not just show up to the stadium and figure it out all on your own. But you're exactly right. I mean, it's still a third start. Making a play like that and recognizing the look and kind of taking the ingredients of the information that we talk about a lot during the week and getting the answers to the test via a lot of that is kind of, what you're looking for. And I've always thought JJ is a very, very high level processor of information, whether it's protection calls and the things he has to have to make certain looks blockable and make it right. I've known that from the first time I sat down with him in Ann Arbor. So that's what makes you so encouraged and excited about the fact that some of the things we're working through right now with a young player, totally normal, are the physical side of things. The fact that he's so high capacity and capable mentally of so much is where you hope to see a young player grow within the same system for a long time, hopefully. So, but you're exactly right as far as you can turn on the TV and see that exact same look and not see the level of poise and ability to get the guys into the right play on that sequence for sure.
Kevin, was the trade deadline calm for you yesterday, or were there any possibilities that could have flushed
Yeah,
out?
I know there were some calls and some things, but what I thought Kwesi did a really good job communicating and kind of letting us know kind of what some of the possibilities were and talking through those. It's a game plan day, so we're pretty hard at work as coaches and. But yeah, nothing really materialized, and like I said, we've kind of felt like very similar to our opponent probably, who kind of dealt with some injury adversity, and now they're getting healthy and getting back to being the original team they thought they'd be, and they're a really good one. So we're hoping we're the same, and hoping and talking about it doesn't do a whole lot. We got to go put consistency on tape every single week.
The Ravens, what do you see with Kyle Hamilton and that defense and how they've seemingly got back on track?
Yeah, I mean, they make the trade for another safety, a really talented guy in Gilman, which allows Kyle Hamilton to then play pretty much predominantly the nickel spot, which they're playing a lot of nickel defense to basically every grouping. And then that also allows Humphrey to, stay out at the spot where he's incredibly impactful at the outside corner spot. And I argue.
All right, I'm back, man. I'm back. Let's stop this right quick. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all. I'm finna eat, and I ain't finna be talking like that. But before I do, I'm gonna get into this Asante Samuel situation. We're gonna get this Asante Samuel thing out the way before I start eating and munching and playing these videos, bro. I probably showed a McCarthy presser, and I didn't know Jettis had a presser up, so probably show that one too. You hear me, dog? But I'm gonna get into this Asante Samuel article before I start grubbing, dog. I'm finna grub down. You hear me, dog? Straight up heavy. Let's get into it. Double hand, double hand. Yeah, double that, double that. Yeah, I'm a hand. Yeah. Vikings news: Asante Samuel Jr. visit is not what you think. Like I said, what the hell is it, bro? Like, for real, For real, don't make no damn sense. When General Manager Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah stood pat at the NFL trade deadline on Tuesday, Minnesota Vikings fans were understandably disappointed, but that frustration turned to hope on Wednesday when it was reported that free agent cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. is scheduled to visit the Vikings in Eagan on Friday. Oh, so it's not till Friday? What the hell? I thought it was today. Fuck going on around here? His stop at TCO Performance Center tomorrow is slotted between 5 other visits lined up around the league: Carolina, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, San Francisco, and Chicago over the coming days. Ain't that ironic? All these division teams want him. So he is a well sought after cornerback, so it's obviously he still got some skills there, and teams still want him in the building. Damn, he only 26, bro. Samuel Jr., a 26-year-old former second-round pick, was cleared medically by independent doctors earlier this week to play football again following a neck spine injury that cost him most of 2024 and resulted in a rather controversial spinal fusion procedure over the offseason. So he went through a real serious injury, like real serious surgery as well. So can he stay healthy is the main question also, right? Heavy, It'll be a busy week. It'll be a busy couple weeks for Asante Samuel Jr. He's visiting the Panthers today. After that, it's Packers, Thursday, Vikings, Friday, 49ers, Monday, Bears, Tuesday, and Steelers, Wednesday. Damn. A thorough, methodical process. And there he is, bro. Well sought after, well wanted, heavy. I ain't gonna cap. I hope he comes to the Vikings, man. I hope the Vikings land him somehow, some way. You hear me, man? Heavy, bro. For real. You know? What can he give you? Can he stay healthy? Who knows? But at the end of the day, we know the Vikings secondary could use some help. Prior to his health scare / injury, Asante Samuel Jr. was one of the top young cornerbacks in the NFL, piling up 6 interceptions and 37 passes defended during his 4-year career. So when news of Samuel's Jr.'s visit first broke, there was a sense of optimism around Vikings territory. Why not? If healthy, the Florida State alum would essentially fix just about every defensive issue they currently have. Of course, the injury caveat there is very important. Asante Samuel Jr. visit is for medical, not contract purposes. Well, damn. So they just trying to see if he all right. Could get a physical, I'm assuming. Yeah. And on Thursday morning, we found out just how crucial it is to the Samuel Jr. conversation. While on with Power Trip Morning Show on KFN Radio this morning, Tom Pelissero, NFL Network, reported that Asante Samuel Jr.'s visits are not what we originally thought they were. According to the Top League Insider and Adena native, all of Samuel Jr.'s visits are for medical purposes only. He is working out for team doctors and trainers who will then decide if he is indeed healthy enough to warrant a possible signing. So this is basically, we've seen this before, right? Can he play? Is he healthy? He's going to get a physical. So all these teams are just looking to see where he is physically and I'm sure mentally as well. But ultimately, it's going to come down to how much will he play for? How much does the team want to pay him, right, dog? And which team, which organization does he want to be at? Period, bro. You hear me? That's what it comes down to, bottom line, homie. You hear me? You know? But that's the big question, right? So is he healthy? This is basically damn near a medical clearance, correct, dog? You hear me? Asante Samuel Jr., the reason a player like that has 5 or 6 team tour setup is medical. He needs to go in and get physicals in different places without getting too deep into the weeds on the nature of the injury. It is something very serious and very scary that he is coming back from. No cap, bro. No cap, heavy. For real. Man. Definitely. We're talking spinal, the neck area, and a football player. Oh, yeah. Major, baby. Heavier. He had a surgery, and this is not an injury that a lot of doctors thought a surgery was going to be able to fully fix. So it's not just a matter of his doctors clearing him. It's a team medical staff clearing him. And when you're talking about a neck issue, a spine issue, those are really sensitive kinds of topics. Facts. Real shit, bro. Last week in Detroit, the Minnesota Vikings got interior pressure on QB Jared Goff that we had not yet seen during the Kevin O'Connell era. It was that incessant pass rush versus the Lions, which allowed a previously underwhelming Vikings secondary cover. They forgot the 2 to secondary cover long enough for DT Javon Hargrave and the boys get home for 5 total sacks and 11 QB hits. Minnesota Vikings coaches, execs won't meet with Samuel Jr., so he will have no conversations, no interactions with the coaches. Kind of weird, though. Kind of weird, right? So this is strictly him seeing doctors, medical, physical, etc. Period. Nothing more. So this could be an ongoing process, maybe a week, maybe even 2 weeks. You hear me, dog? But going forward, the Minnesota Vikings defensive backs will continue to be a problem if they can't find more help. If you are hoping that help will come in the form of Asante Samuel Jr., however, then you are banking on a process that still has a long way to go, even after this first round of medical visits. Like I just said, this could damn near easily be a 2-3 week, maybe even a month process, correct? Heavy. And being the fact that Kwesi stood pat, didn't make no maneuvers. Hey, man, hey, they better hope the pass rush gets there and the pressure gets applied by that D line. Or it could be tough selling for the secondary. I'm just being real here. You hear me, dog? Heavy. According to Pelissario's interview on KFN, this 6-team medical tour will not include any meetings with head coaches or high-ranking executives. Again, teams just want to figure out if he is healthy enough to play football before they even think about what it will take to sign him. And you got to respect that. Very understandable, bro. Period. Can the man play? Can the man even move? Asante Samuel Jr. probably would have been the corner to get paid, along with guys like Carlton Davis in this past free agency class, if he were healthy. The fact that it's November and we're talking about him taking a medical tour, just someone else won't sign him. I would just say that this isn't him coming in and meeting the coaching staff and deciding where to go. This is these teams wanting to put him through a battery of tests and make their own determinations. Got to take it slow with him, man. Don't want to play with an injury like that, bro. For real, huh? You heard me. There's 32 team doctors with 32 degrees of risk tolerance. Everybody is going to make their own judgment on this because it is something pretty significant. Minnesota Vikings could use Asante Samuel Jr. this weekend. Definitely. The Minnesota Vikings are preparing to suit up for a Week 10 NFC versus AFC battle on Sunday at US Bank Stadium against the Baltimore Ravens and arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Lamar Jackson, who returned from injury last week to throw for 204 yards and 4 touchdowns and an easy 28-6 win over the dysfunctional Dolphins. Jackson was forced to sit out for 3 games due to the hamstring injury he suffered Week 4 against the Kansas City Chiefs. In the 5 games he has started, the 28-year-old two-time NFL MVP has completed 72.9% of his passes for 1,073 yards, 14 touchdowns, and just 1 interception. Oh, and he has rushed for 180 yards and 1 touchdown too. Heavy, bro. He is a problem. You hear me? Could be John Mahomes. This is something else. Let me see. What is this here? And on Sunday, Jackson will match up against the Minnesota Vikings defense that played its best game of the season last week in Detroit, a 27-23 upset victory against the division rival Lions. A high-powered, a lot of grammatical errors in this motherfucking article. You hear me, dog? A high-powered offense that Brian Flores and company held to just 116 yards passing, the Lions' lowest air total on the season. If they can maintain that going forward, there would be no need to sign Asante Samuel Jr. But no matter what the Vikings tell us, they need help in the secondary and they know it. Shit, the world know it. We all know it. The hell we talking about here? Unfortunately, we will have to wait patiently to find out if Samuel can help fix it. Then we'll talk about whether or not that they actually will. And that's what it is, dog. So you're not surprised. You're not shocked. This is not a visit whether or not he's getting signed right away or whatever, bro. This is strictly about making sure he can be medically cleared to play, huh? Heavy. No way around it, right? Can he even play football again? Huh? That's the 411. That's the scoop. Can he play football again? You know what it is, bro. You're straight up. And that's where we at with him, man. Aaron Jones is 200 pounds. That's not little. Yeah, I guess, I know he was 200. He hitting 200? All right, bet. Boom. Kind of for a running back, it is kind of little, though, if we being real. John Hendricks, 28. You hear me, though? Let's be real here, though, you know? For a running back, only 200? Getting a lot of carries on top of that? Yeah, that's kind of on the small side. Heavy. You know? Shout out John Hendricks in the building, though, for real. Like I told you, I'm finna grub, man. Let's get into these videos right quick, homie. You hear me? Gotta get it in, man, for real. 1 second. I'm gonna do the McCarthy. I'm gonna do the Jettas first, dog. Huh? I'm gonna go Jettas, bro. Huh? You hear me? Matter of fact, let's finish up KLC right quick, man. Hold on. I kind of want to see Jettas, though, man. For real. Got Flores in here. Hold on, man. Hold on 1 second, man. Through Jettas, man.
What if you could clean your retainer at the touch of a button? No more brushing or tablets. Over 4 years ago, our team of engineers knew there had to be a quicker, easier, and more effective way to deep.
So it's not only the fact that you guys beat the Lions, but it's how you beat them. How can, I know there's things to still clean up, but how can that really help this team now going forward? Now they got guys healthy, just the mindset going forward.
Yeah, it can help us a lot, especially with our confidence. Just going into their environment. We haven't beat them since 2021 in their house. So, having that all in the back of our heads, their division game, 2-0 in division. So, those things are something that you can feed off of and have momentum off of, especially having a home game right after that. And just like you said, having, those people off the injury list and getting back healthy and being back with the team. So it feels great, and it feels great to always win and, have these smiling faces every time we come in this building. So it's a great feeling. We just got to continue to stack it and continue to come out, on days like this and, go to work.
The fact also that you played with the lead, right? You guys didn't have to try to be the Cardiac kids at the end. Like that is a whole new thing for you guys of late.
Yeah, for sure. It feels great not to be in those situations. But just like I said, Sunday, the captain stood up and talked to the team and kind of explain to the guys and express to the guys what we're looking to see, and what we're expecting for the guys to play like on game day. And we had a good bit of that. Of course, just like you said, there's things to fix and things to look at, but all in all, we feel like the energy was there, the execution was there for the most part, and guys just making plays, not overstepping their boundaries, overstepping their role and their boundaries. We just went out and just played our ball.
Justin, even with the quarterback shuffling this year and trying to get JJ up to speed, you're still fifth in receiving yards this season. How do you feel about your production personally this season?
Yeah, I feel like it's good. It's still ways to get better and to stack the games and stack the days. Of course, I feel like I should have way more touchdowns than I have right now. But that just goes off of the execution with our offense. That also goes with the amount of plays the defense makes. There's a lot that goes in towards it, but I feel like as long as I'm going out there being the captain that I am, being the leader that I am, and we're putting W's on the board, then the personal stats, of course I would love them, but as long as we win and I'm holding up a trophy at the end of the day, that's what matters the most.
After the game, there was a video that popped up from Amik, I think, was talking at you, and you were just kind of walking straight. I don't know if you've seen that one or not. Was that just typical between you two, or was he going more than he normally does?
That's Amik. If you know Amik, that's him. He's a rowdy guy. He likes to talk, and he likes to have that fuel his game. And I just wasn't fueling it Sunday. So it's just that he's a competitive player, and I love that aspect of him. I love the competitive spirit of the game. But I just was locked into the main objective, which was scoring and winning the game. And I already knew that he was going to try to be that type of player. He was just trying to talk to me and get me off my game and just do stuff that typical corners do. And I just wasn't feeding into his role that time.
So ahead of the game, you're already knowing that's coming, and that's the way you're going to react.
Oh, 100%. To be honest, every week it's kind of like that. No matter who I play, it's someone's bound to talk trash to me a little bit, and try to get me off my game or
Shout
just
out
to,
Zone, man.
just to talk trash a little bit. But I mean, I love that.
Shout out In the Zone Sports in the building, man. Shout out my guy in the Zone Sports, man. What up, big dog? Oh, he say Bama ain't shit. Roll Tide, baby. You hear me? Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide, man. You hear me? Roll Tide, yo. Come on, man. What's up with them boys in blue, dog, bro? You hear me? What's up with them boys in blue, dog? You hear me? Roll Tide, SKOL Tide, man. You know? Oh, man. Shout out in the zone, though, man. Oh, man.
It kind of fuels the fire a little bit, and it allows me to, go out there with that in the back of my mind and saying I'm gonna kill him next play.
How much are you looking forward to the challenge of going against Marlon and that Ravens secondary this weekend?
Yeah, I'm up for the challenge for sure. They're a great, great team all in all. Great defense, great defensive line, great secondary. So I'm definitely, confident in myself to go out there and perform like I always do. I'm excited for JJ to go out, back at home and to show out in front of the fans and the game plan, the concepts that we have for this week. We feel like it's going to be a great matchup. So I'm excited for it, and it's a great opportunity for us to, get our extra dub on the board.
Listen, you know what it's like to come back from injury and perform. So you've seen JJ do it twice this year. And the fact he refers to himself as 9, he puts on a different persona. Like, what have you seen for him in those kind of roller coaster times that has really helped him become who he is that we saw in Detroit?
Yeah. The persona, that I like it personally. I feel like he understands that he has to turn on another switch when he gets in a game, and mentally, physically, you kind of got to talk yourself into it. You have to, just like me with Jets. It's the same thing. I'm Justin right now, but when I step on the field, and it's a whole different mode. So I kind of feel the same way for him. He kind of turns it on, and he turns into a different mode. When we're out there on that field and we're competing and we're going to war. So that's something that I'm kind of interested into seeing how far he takes that. But I'm just excited for him to continue to go out there with that confidence that he have, and to continue to perform.
What made you laugh at the beginning? Like, what do you find humorous?
I feel like everyone has it. Everyone has to have that ego. I feel like, especially on this team, they have a lot of nice guys on this team, and great human beings. When we go out there on that field, we don't need any more nice guys. We need some guys that are dogs, and they bound to scrap through anything. So I feel like he has that dog mentality, and he knows that he got to turn on when he stepped foot on that field.
Is he the one who started the dog in the street howl thing?
No, he's not the one that started that. He's not the one that started. Offense started it. O-line started it. So we got. They'll explain it to you. I'll leave them to explain it to you. So the next time an O-lineman gets up here. That's not gonna happen. Oh Lord, we don't have BO doing interviews. He's doing right now. Oh yeah, so you gotta hurry up, get in there and ask him. Ask him what that means. Ask Walter what that means.
My dog, man.
Actually,
Walter Rouse?
Yes. Ask him what that means.
Justin, no greedy on Sunday when you scored. What happened there? You just frustrated?
It's just been a long time coming of me being in the end zone, being in a hostile environment like Detroit. Of course, the last matchup, they was talking a lot of trash and everything. So, just kind of wanted to give them my little strut, my little walk. Look them in the eyes a little bit, and it was a little bit more personal. So, the next touchdown will be gritty, definitely back at home. So, I'll be looking forward to that.
What do you think of JJ's? Yeah.
JJ's is clean. I seen a lot of comments on it on Twitter and social media about it, telling me to teach him and everything. But I feel like he did very, very well. He been studying, so he hit it. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
See what else we got, man. I mean, hey, this, I ain't gonna lie, this shit good as hell, boy. See what else we got, man.
The body scanner reveals the brutal truth about your body that your regular scale will never tell you. For weeks, my scale showed I wasn't losing weight despite diet and exercise. I was about to give up.
I wanted to start with just sending thoughts and condolences to the Cowboys and the friends and family of Marshawn Nealon. This is just a tragic situation. And, you know, he was here on a 30 visit. So, you know, I met him, obviously spent some time with him, and just a really sad situation. And just wanted to, you know, just send thoughts, condolences, prayers to his friends and family and the Cowboys organization. As far as last week, you know, great team win in Detroit. I thought our guys played hard, had a great week of preparation, played hard, executed, and made a couple more plays, you know, than Detroit. You know, tough game in a tough environment, which we knew that was what it was going to be. Really good team. They got great players over there, great coaching. But our guys played well, persevered, dealt with some adversity within the game, and really played well. So I was excited about that. But it feels like, you know, when I'm here on Thursday, it feels like that was weeks ago. We've kind of really turned the page to the Ravens. Obviously, it's a huge test for us defensively. They've got, you know, one of their most dynamic players probably ever, in Lamar Jackson, and a lot of other players. I know he gets a lot of the headlines, and he's kind of the main story. But, you know, Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, Zay Flowers, and the list goes on and on. And so, huge challenge for us. I think you know, we're in the process of preparing. But we had a good day yesterday, good meetings and good walkthrough today, and we got to just continue to string together good days to give ourselves a chance to play well. And certainly going to be a big challenge.
Brian, with Javon and Jonathan Allen, is that the kind of performance you guys envisioned when you signed them back in March?
Yeah, I thought both guys played well. I think the entire D-line played well. But those guys, you know, played well last week. They were physical, good movements, good push in the pocket. You know, thought, you know, those two, you know, obviously were huge contributors to the overall, you know, team success and, you know, the plan going in. And, you know, felt good about where they were and feel good about where they are, and, you know, just trying to build on that.
We had a couple games against Lamar when you were in Miami. What have you seen different about him over these past few years since the last time you guys played now? In terms of how he's evolved?
Yeah, I mean, he's improved and gotten better in all areas of his game, year after year after year after year. I mean, he's, you know, a perennial, essentially an MVP candidate year after year after year. This guy's, I think, you know, when people talk about him or think about him, you think about the dynamic runs and the scrambles and the off-schedule plays. This guy's an excellent passer of the football, quarterback.
Yep.
And so defensively, you're dealing with everything. And, you know, yeah, there's some history, but that was years ago, and he's certainly improved and gotten a lot better in all facets of his game: leadership, command of the offense, acumen, deep balls, intermediate, short, scrambles. I mean, all of it. Protections. It's clear that he's got a really good feel for how to protect himself, when to get the ball out, when to take some chances, et cetera, et cetera. And then they've got a lot of great skill players who, understand that, if things aren't perfect, he's probably going to make a move and create some space or create an off-schedule play, and they do a great job of finding space and getting open. So we've got to do a good job of when he does get out, which inevitably against a player like this, it's going to happen. And we'll do everything we can to try to keep him in the pocket. But, but a player like this, he's going to get out. We've got to do a great job of staying in coverage, plastering receivers, and just trying to track him down as best we can. But, yeah, there's some history there, but he's I mean, obviously, like, he's perennial Pro Bowl player.
That Gink brings to the team, obviously, we already know, but what impresses you most that he can miss this amount of time and still be such a game changer when he gets in there?
I think, with Gink, it's one thing after another that's just kind of impressive. So while it is hard to kind of imagine being out that long and then just not really missing a beat, it's not with him. For lack of a better phrase, he's just he's a gamer. He prepares the right way. He's a great communicator. I think that's one thing that you can't really see, you can't really quantify it, you can't put data to it of how whether it's calming nerves sometimes, and at other times it's putting another guy in really good position. I'm just thinking about I think he had a game with Red where, he calls it, we execute it, and, he just does a good job and has a great feel for the game that he can also impart on other players. And he just uplifts the group in a major way, and, I'm glad we have him, and we're going to need him this week, that's for sure.
Brian, it seems like a trend around the league is teams using bigger personnel. Obviously, the Ravens through the years have done this. Just how do you feel like you've had to adjust through this year when you see a lot more two tight ends, even maybe a fullback on the field?
Mm-hmm. I think it's defensively we've got to respond to what the offense puts in the game. So whether it's two tight ends or three tight ends or three receivers or four receivers, we've got to try to deploy what we think is, the best amount of DBs, linebackers, D linemen to defend, that particular grouping and their skill sets. So why that's happening, I think each team has, a separate game plan that I think is, it's not just offense, it's putting all of it together and how we, the type of game they want to play or the type of game they envision playing. Sometimes, protecting edges, running a football, things like that are a big part of, how a team wants to play. Obviously, Baltimore is, certainly, capable of playing that style. They've got, the biggest fullback in the league and big tight ends and big running back. And so I think that's, certainly a lane they can play in, I would say. And, they do a great job. But they can also spread you out. They've got receivers, they've got tight ends, and I think balance is the big thing. For good offenses, which they have. They've got receivers, they've got tight ends, they can play different styles, and so we've got to, be able to match and play against and practice, against those bigger groupings, but also we've got to be ready for their, three and four receiver packages as well.
Does it feel like a throwback to you at all? Like now you're playing some more traditional 3-4 stuff, which it seemed like forever defenses just had to live in nickel because offenses were in 11 personnel all the time.
Yeah. I think, there's cycles and trends in the National Football League, just like really any industry. And I think, things that were in vogue a few years ago, I think sometimes people may have caught up to what was in vogue 2-3 years ago. So, you have to change. And I think that's, the best coaches just like in any industry, you have to shift and adjust and be flexible. I know we try to do that and be that defensively, and just because if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over again, people are just going to catch up to you. So, I think creativity is king. I've said that before, and whether that's 2 and 3 tight end groups or 3 and 4 wide receiver groups, I think it's game plan specific. I think it's what are we capable of doing? What are we capable of executing at a high level over and over and over again? Because the margin for error is so slim, and so you want to put your best guys out there, or the best group of guys, I would say, because it takes 11 to execute. And we try to do the same thing. We really do. But Baltimore, they do a great job of it. They've done it for a long, long time. Coach Harbaugh has been fantastic for, I don't know how many years it's been, 16, 17 seasons. And a lot of respect for him, Monk and the whole group.
Rob, with Geeks, like communication and acumen, anticipation on the field, how hard is that to evaluate guys coming out? Like, can you see that on film, or is it something when they're in the building?
I would say it's hard to evaluate. Let's just go ahead and say that. I think the more instinctive players, there's some players who just have a feel for formations, and when you talk to them, they can talk formations, and they're talking about the game plan for this week was this, and that was tell for us, or we felt like we had a matchup there. When you're talking to a player and you hear some of those things, which was the case with Gink, when he was in college, you kind of get a sense that there's a possibility that he could make some of these instinctive plays and get some other guys in the right positions. You got to put some time into that, though. I mean, you got to spend some time, and then you get them, and you see how much they can learn and absorb, and then apply, and then you just continue to keep giving them more. And I think we've got several players that are like that. I think Josh Metellus is that way. I think Harrison Smith is that way. I think Eric Wilson's that way. I think Blake Cashman's that way. And those guys, there's an urgency to get it right. There's an urgency to learn.
Boss.
And that allows them to have the confidence that they've prepared the right way to make adjustments or make calls in a game. And I think Gink's right at the top of that list of guys I've coached in my career.
Did you have any issues with the blindside block that he took?
I didn't think it was malicious. I think it was kind of a bang situation. I think I see kind of both sides of it. I do think it's something that maybe it gets taken. They take a look at, but I'll leave it there. I mean, it's thankfully there was no big injury, and he's okay. So we'll kind of chalk it up to football, and then we'll let the league kind of look at it and see if they want to take a harder stance or anything like that.
Right. Brian, when you guys signed Eric Wilson this offseason, did you foresee him carving out as big of a role as he has in the defense?
Hell no.
Short.
Hell no, they didn't think he would ball like that, no. You hear me? You hear me? Ain't no way they thought Eric Wilson would ball like that. You ain't got a Cat Flores. Everybody wanted more from Flores. I mean, from Ivan Pace, you hear me? Right? So, nobody think Eric Wilson will contribute. Being capable, yeah, but you're like, you might do that, dog. What are they?
Quick answer, no. But I think any player who steps into the building, their role is what they make it. And I think he's continued to improve. He's continued to, take advantage of his opportunities. He's made plays, and when you do that, you earn snaps. You earn the right to be on the field. If you become one of the most consistent, dependable, productive players, boom, you're going to be out there. And so that's my message to everybody who steps into the building. We don't care about what means a guy got here. And I think we've got several guys who were, in that boat. Jalen Redmond's in that boat as well. If you work at it day after day after day, and you improve, you get better, you're productive. We got to put you in there, and that just makes sense to me. It'll always make sense to me. So, E-Dub's done a great job, and he'll continue to be out there.
You mentioned Monk. What stands out about just the way he calls it, his design? I don't know if you've gone up against him before.
I haven't. I think he's, there's clearly a, I'm doing this to set up this, to set up this, to set up this. You know what I mean? And there's, it's thoughtful, it's thoughtfully constructed. He's putting his players in best positions. There's a clear division of labor as far as who's doing what. And they do a nice job. And they can play varying styles. And there's balance. And, I think when an offense has balance, that's when it gets hard. They can run it, they can throw it, they can play action it, they can screen it. They've got speed, they've got, deep ball. And within all those things, you got Lamar, and, he does a great job too. So, it'll be a big test for us.
Gotta be locked in, man. Gotta be locked in. 4 quarters, you hear me? 4 motherfucking quarters, you hear me though?
Hey, Brian, going back to Javon, after the game in Detroit, he had just mentioned that his role getting scaled back was humbling, that it was motivating. Did you get a sense talking with him that he needed that?
I think he was dealing with some injury. I think it was a little bit of, I don't know if it's getting scaled back as much as it's let's get him healthy. Look, I think he's done a great job since he's been here. And I think, oftentimes with new players, it's finding the right, whether it's alignment, formation, players he's in there with. And I think we're still working towards that, but I think we're working in the right direction. He's been fantastic, and I think, he's made plays, and, obviously last week was his best week, and we just have to build on that. And, that's the case for, him and really everybody. We just got to continue to build on any success that we have and improve in anything that we're having some weaknesses or we're not playing as well as we want to. And that's always the message. All right. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, man.
Check
Ready to
this
get up
out.
out of here,
I'm gonna show
man?
you how
Ready to get up out of here, man. Pretty much it for the live, but big game. There was nobody talking about. Any more questions, comments, man, opinions, let me know. I'm finna get up out of here. We 2 hours in, 2 hour 30 in. You hear me? You already know. Sunday, tune in. 1 o'clock, baby. 1 o'clock, whatever. 12 o'clock. Let's get it, baby. Big game, need a big win. Heavy. Big game, need a big win, Shout out J Mood, 2100 in the building. Shout out J.E. Mood, 2100 in the building. What up, big dog? Hope all is well, you hear me? He say big game, definitely a big game, man. Keep telling people, J Mood, don't get caught up in the Ravens record. Understand who the Ravens are as a team, right? Understand how good the Ravens are, point blank, period. Understand that this is their season on the line. Damn near the Vikings as well. Every game for here on out. You know what I mean? The room for error is slim. Margin for error is slim. You hear me, dog? Very, baby. Like I said earlier in the live, you hear me, homie? Maybe 2 more losses max. You hear me? But the perfect situation would be the Vikings winning out. 1 more max. If you ask me, you hear me? What it is, dog. Shout out Mississippi, bro. Shout out Mississippi. Salute Mississippi, bro. Hey, tell Mississippi, go ahead, kill that last monkey, bro. Stay aware for that. Stay aware of that monkey, J Mood. You hear me, dog? You hear me, dog? Be on the lookout for that monkey. If you see that monkey, shoot him in the head, J Mood. You hear me? I heard there's one more left, dog. The fuck going all around here? Monkeys getting loose and shit. What this? 12 monkeys, bro? You hear me? You hear me, bro? There's some 12 monkeys talk type shit. You hear me? I told y'all they show you in the movies what's going down. You hear me? But nah, man. Shout out J.E. Mood. Shout out Mississippi, man. Respect Mississippi, bro. You hear me, dog? Straight up. SKOL Vikes from Mississippi, dog. Respect, my dog. James Shaw's in the building. James Shaw's in the building. What up, big dog? All is good, man. Finna get up out of here. You know? Anybody got any questions, got any opinions, let me know, man. Pretty much it for the live, dog. Appreciate my big dogs, man. Planet of the Apes all over again. I'm telling you now, my boy. I'm telling you, J.E. Mood should be crazy, bro. Should be real in the field, baby. You hear me? We gotta stay aware, dog, man. You hear me? SKOL Vikes, you know what it is, though, man. For real. Yeah, man. Mississippi in the building, man. Let's get it, man. Ain't no more questions, comments, man. You already know I'm dropping a video tomorrow. Y'all rock and roll with Big SKOL, man. All my Alabama fans, you know what it is. Roll Tide, full of pride. Big game Saturday, LSU prime time. Let's get it, man. Another weekend of football, man. Gotta love it. We here for it. Grateful we can be here for it, right? Blessed that we can be here for it. Let's get it, man. Let's turn up together. You hear me? Big game. It's gonna be a big win. SKOL Vikes, win, lose, or draw, man. Hands down, man, down, point blank, period, baby. You hear me, dog? Yeah, man. Let's go, Vikes. You know what it is? Big SKOL here, bro. The biggest. You hear me? Shout out, respect all my big dogs, man. Holla at y'all later. Hold it down, man. Yeah. And guess what? We run the North. Yeah. Believe that. Yeah.